let's get into Russell Brand. Katy Perry's ex-husband and the British comedian Russell Brand has found himself in really big trouble. Russell is now facing R-word and SA charges from 4 separate alleged incidents dating as far back as 1999. Now, it looks like detectives began investigating Russell after a series of allegations were made against him in 2023. But what's interesting is that the police, they were able to bring 4 charges against Russell, but they date back from 1999 through 2005. So I don't know why, about 20 years later, they started investigating it. Maybe one of the victims came forward and that's what really started this. But either way, the police must have a lot of evidence if they're going back 20 years plus for the 1999 incident and pursuing him, as they should. But what's interesting is that Russell isn't currently in police custody. Yeah, he's been charged with these crimes, but it looks like he's going to be expected in court in May. That's when he will face the charges. So I guess the police, I don't know exactly how it works in London, but maybe they weren't able to go and just pick him up yet. You got to go and get convicted of these charges to be held.
Well, what do you know? Russell Brand has officially been charged. When these allegations came out, we're like, allegations, there's nothing there, he's not getting charged. Well, he's getting charged. Does that mean that he's been found guilty? No, but it means there's enough to charge him. Wait, there are so many people on this platform who have been platforming him like he's some good guy and he took the Maha movement and jumped onto that. This is a dangerous, scary individual who time is officially up for.
Russell Brand has always given me really bad energy, especially when I saw that he and Katy Perry were together. She was kind of on her rise and doing really great in her career, and he always seemed so negative. Now, Russell is currently denying all of these charges, but it doesn't really matter because there are more and more people coming forward. Actually, the Sunday Times released a joint report of multiple women claiming that Russell harmed them between the years 2006 through 2013. So we're seeing this pattern continue. It's not just 1999 through 2005. It's up until 2013 now. A couple months after the report came out, Russell was sued by a woman claiming that he had SA'd her on the Arthur movie set, another claim that he denies. What's freaky about this is that he can keep denying and denying all he wants, but if this is true, it's going to come to light. Or at least we would hope it would. You know, we're going to talk about Diddy next, but not to get ahead of ourselves. But I do think there's a world too where there's just, we all see it. There's no justice here. And I don't exactly know if Russell Brand is in the position to defend himself. Will he able to just deny until the day he dies? Or I don't know what the prosecutors have against him, but it must be rather damning. Either way, I told you earlier when he was with Katy Perry, he just gave me such bad vibes. So unfortunately, I'm not surprised.
You have to watch this clip from the latest documentary on Russell Brand.
He forced his down my throat and I couldn't breathe. I was just choking.
Okay. We've already got documentaries about Russell. So at this point, I don't know why he's denying. He might as well just go and get himself comfortable in a cell.
I was crying, and he said, "Oh, I only want to see your mascara run anyway."
Them blood drops where mascara runs a little bit.
Oh, interesting. So this woman was describing a moment where she was attacked by Russell Brand, and now he's making a joke about it in his comedy set.
Abusive men very often tell us that they're abusive. We just don't listen.
This person commented, even since I was young, my spirit never took to him, and I now know why. Now, I did see that Russell tried to do a little shift in brand. He tried to embrace Christ, which I'm glad that he has found God, but it also seems very convenient. He got baptized in April 2024, and it just seems like he did so much evil that maybe he realized it was going to catch up to him. So now he's trying to rebrand Russell Brand himself into a Christian, even though it's not working, especially when there's no accountability for what you had done, the pain that you'd caused people, and probably the guilt you feel for it. Now, when it comes to Russell Brand, it kind of reminds me of the situation with Bob Saget. He's no longer with us, but there were moments where he made inappropriate jokes about Mary-Kate and Ashley, and it ended up haunting him later on in life. Well, I feel like now that we're starting to see who Russell really is, a lot of his past career, it's, it looks different now. It aged very badly. In one old clip, Russell admitted that he could get his assistant to do anything, like get naked and massage a radio DJ. Now, this is back in 2007, but Russell was chatting on the phone in an interview aired on BBC Radio 2. He was talking to Jimmy Savile back in 2007, like I said, and he told Jimmy he would love to meet him someday. Jimmy joked that he doesn't meet men alone, but interesting. What's wrong with Jimmy where he can't be in a room with a man alone? But if Russell Brand had a sister, he'd happily meet her. Russell responded saying he doesn't have a sister, but he does have an assistant who greets, meets, and massages anyone he tells her to. Russell says that his assistant is very attractive, and Jimmy says she's welcome to his home anytime, preferably wearing nothing at all, which Russell agrees to. And maybe you could just chuck this up to bad humor, just comedians who really aren't that funny. But at the same time, you must acknowledge this is a boss talking about his female employee. It shocked me how in 2007 this was on the radio and people didn't even think twice about it.
It'd be very nice to meet you one day, Mr. Jimmy Savile. Just
if you've got a sister, you could meet me by bringing her along.
I haven't got any sisters.
I don't usually meet fellas, but if you've got a sister, that's okay.
I've got a personal assistant called. And part of her job description is that anyone I demand she...
This Jimmy guy's so creepy. Why can't he meet with a man? He'll meet with you if you have your sister. Why? Because he's just going to stare at your sister the entire time? There's something so pervy about that. What is up with this guy?
Greets, meets, massages. She has to do it. She's very attractive, Jimmy.
Well, that's a good start.
What kind of
start? You could send her along to do some research.
Would you like her to wear anything in particular, Sir Jimmy?
I'd actually prefer her to wear nothing.
Right. So you want my assistant to meet you naked? Okay. Well, that's not going to be a problem.
Let's get into Diddy. Oh, Diddy, you are not getting out anytime soon because the feds just put on more charges on your case. And the feds, they don't play. They're not going to just add anything. Like any normal investigation, they start their case, they start with this investigation, but there's so many people and celebrities and ties that Diddy has that I'm sure it takes time to really uncover more of the truth. And I actually feel more confident in the justice system seeing them add on these additional charges later on because they are continuing to investigate this man. The more people that they meet and things like that, I feel like they're unlocking doors and maybe tunnels under LA. Diddy's facing new criminal charges in his case because prosecutors hit him with their third indictment. It looks like they're adding two more charges, one for trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. So forcing these people to do these things, to get intimate with people against their will and telling them that if they don't, he's going to force them to, fraud them into it, or coerce them. And he's also getting in trouble for transporting people around for these type of acts. The feds say the new charges stem from allegations against Diddy from 2021 through 2024, which is insane because this is so recent. And it looks like they are referring to this person who they have met as victim number 2. I don't know who victim number 2 would be, but they've essentially already said that Cassie is victim number 1. So who's victim number 2? With the new indictment, Diddy is now facing 5 criminal charges, 2 counts of trafficking, 2 of transporting, and 1 of racketeering. Diddy's legal team tells TMZ that these are not new allegations or new accusers. These are the same individuals' former long girlfriends who were involved in consensual relationships. This was their private SCX life. So they said they consented to these things. They're clearly saying they did not. Now, I want to spend a second and try to think about who victim 2 could be, because we noticed that in that text, they said that it happened between the year 2021 through 2024. So looking at his timeline of people who he has been dating, Young Miami, a rapper from the girl group City Girls, was dating him through 2021 through 2023. We also have Dana Tran, who is a model who also dated him around the same time. So it can be Dana Tran, it could also be Young Miami. But I want to switch gears to Terrence Howard because he just gave a glimpse into the dark side of Hollywood, and one example he gave is his personal experience with Diddy. He was a guest on Patrick Bet-David's podcast where he claimed that he was targeted by Diddy for sex under the guise of coaching, which sounds like grooming 101. Like you go and act like a mentor or like a teacher, and then you get your way in.
Terrence Howard just exposed Diddy. Not only did Terrence Howard admit that Diddy was trying to use his power and influence to get with him back in the day, he also talked about how Diddy used his power and influence on people in the entertainment industry, and this is why we see a lot of people dealing with mental health issues and addiction issues in the entertainment industry. And he says this is what we see with people that go to these Diddy parties, that they are stuck with making a horrible choice if they want to advance their career or get that fame, because Diddy is using his power and influence over these people to make these decisions. This part gave me chills because the first person that I thought of was Bashir Gray. I wholeheartedly feel like Terrence Howard was talking about Bashir Gray because this is what we saw happen to Bashir Gray in real time. We all watched him rise up on Empire, and out of everybody, he had a gift where he was rising up in the entertainment industry to be huge. And then we all watched his downfall in real time. He started dealing with substance issues, he got arrested multiple times, and it just turned out horrible for him.
Now, to be honest, I haven't heard of Terrence before he made these allegations. He's best known for his role in Hustle and Flow, which was back in 2005, and also in Iron Man in 2008. He also was in Empire. Oh, God. Yeah, we know what happened to that show. We actually covered it. We did a deep dive into it like a couple months ago. You guys should go watch it. No one really did. Now, Terrence does not share when this incident went down, but claims that he was invited to Diddy's place when Diddy was asking him for acting lessons. Terrence claims that Diddy had no material to work on and just stared at me for a while before asking Terrence to play some music. Again, just to stare at him. Nothing was accomplished. When Diddy invited him to come back over there another time, Terrence said he realized Diddy only wanted to get intimate with him. To be clear, he did not accuse Diddy of any wrongdoing. Terrence said a lot of people give up their man card to make it in Hollywood and to become successful, but he refused to do so at any point. Which, I don't know if we need to talk about the man card, okay? But like, also just, damn, that is wild. That is just so casual how it happens, and there wasn't really any speaking to it. He like had him come over and just like stared at him and kind of waited for him to do something.
So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week, and I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
One person commented, "You know why I believe him? Look at his acting career. He's always been overlooked for several roles. There's a reason he didn't compromise." Another person added, "This is the main reason why Sean Combs needs to remain behind bars." Now, when it comes to Cassie, I don't know what her settlement involved, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore that the feds are here. They want her to talk, and she's going to testify. I don't know if there's going to be cameras in the room. I assume there won't be, because I'm sure Diddy doesn't want this to be on TV. But victim number one, Cassie, is prepared to testify under her own name in the upcoming trial. And honestly, I'm so proud of Cassie for being able to take control in this situation and not to be scared of the man who put her through so much. She's going to go and face him and to tell the world what she had gone through, which is, incredibly brave. I can't even imagine doing that.
Cassie has came out and said that she is going to testify against Diddy. She don't need no fake name. She doesn't need to be hidden. She's just going to let it all out. This was confirmed by TMZ today.
Now, because these women have been labeled as victim number one, victim number two, last month prosecutors did hand over the names of 3 anonymous women to Diddy's legal team so they can go and do a proper investigation into these women and figure out how they're going to defend Diddy. We all figured out it was Cassie as victim number one because of the hotel beating video that was referenced in an indictment. The one that CNN published last year, but then apparently destroyed the tape of, which I still find that so sketchy. Like, why do we need to destroy anything? Cassie originally sued Diddy in November 2023 for all these horrible things, but they settled the lawsuit within days. I think she got like a payout of what I've heard is like $30 million, but I'm not entirely sure. At the end of the day, Diddy's gonna get what's coming to him, and we're gonna be on top of it the entire time. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.